There is a number sitting in the DVSA enforcement database right now that most British drivers have no idea about. 216,000 vehicles. That is the number of UK cars caught in rule changes and enforcement actions in 2026 that their owners did not see coming. And if you are driving one of the cars on this list, you need to know what I am about to tell you before your next journey onto a public road. I'm a mechanic. I've run a workshop for over 20 years. I've got nothing to sell you. Let's get into it. Before we count them down, one thing worth understanding about how the DVSA operates: the agency does not always send you a letter before it makes your car illegal. Changes in construction and use regulations, new MOT failure categories, emissions enforcement, and type approval withdrawals can all remove a vehicle from legal road use without the owner being directly contacted. The burden is on you to know, which is exactly why you are watching this. Number 8. Diesel cars with removed or tampered DPFs. The diesel particulate filter removal issue has been building for years, but 2026 is the year DVSA enforcement moved from occasional spot checks to systematic roadside testing across the country. Operation Noise Watch, already running across multiple UK police forces for exhaust noise, has expanded to include emissions testing. A car without a functioning DPF will fail an emissions check on the spot and receive a prohibition notice. You cannot drive it home. The specific issue is this: DPF removal was sold for years as a cheap fix for blocked filters rather than the proper regeneration procedure. An estimated 500,000 to 1.5 million UK diesel cars on the road today have had their DPF either removed or bypassed. Every one of them is already illegal under the Road Vehicles Construction and Use regulations. In 2026, DVSA is enforcing that fact with roadside equipment it did not have 2 years ago. If you bought a used diesel that seems unusually clean and powerful, get it checked before a DVSA officer does it for you on the hard shoulder of the M6. Number 7. Cars with illegal number plate modifications. From 2026, police forces across Britain are operating updated ANPR cameras specifically calibrated to detect non-compliant plates. The list of what now triggers a stop and prohibition is longer than most drivers realise. Tinted or smoked plates, any plate that appears darkened, are illegal and will result in a £100 fine and a requirement to replace before driving again. Carbon effect or honeycomb backgrounds are expressly prohibited under BSAU 145E. Illegal spacing, letters moved to form words, has always been illegal but is now being caught at a rate that was impossible before the updated camera systems. Ghost plates, designed to defeat speed cameras, result in immediate seizure. None of these are edge cases. DVSA estimates millions of UK cars carry at least one non-compliant plate feature. The fine is the least of your problems. A non-compliant plate can void your MOT certificate and your insurance simultaneously. Number 6. Vehicles with ISA speed limiters disabled. From July 2024, intelligent speed assistance became mandatory on all new cars sold in the UK. From 2026, DVSA is extending enforcement attention to aftermarket disabling of ISA systems on vehicles where the technology was fitted as standard. Disabling a mandatory safety system is a construction and use offence. It can invalidate your type approval, which means your car is technically no longer road legal in its modified state. The honest catch here: disabling ISA on a car where it was optional remains a grey area. The clear enforcement target is vehicles where ISA was a mandatory fitment that has been deliberately defeated through software. If you bought a nearly new car and the ISA warning light behaves strangely, it is worth having it checked. Number 5. Cars with illegally loud exhaust modifications. The noise limit for new cars dropped to 68 decibels from 2026, down from 72 dB. Operation Noise Watch has been running roadside sound level checks from Sheffield to Bristol since 2024. Police and DVSA officers can issue an improvement notice or an on-the-spot prohibition if your car exceeds its type-approved noise level. This is not about performance cars driven enthusiastically. It is about cars with straight pipe builds, day-cat downpipes, and open dump valves that have been modified past the legal ceiling. The key thing to understand is that the improvement notice means you cannot drive the car away. You arrange a recovery vehicle, or you fix it on the spot. In practice, most people cannot fix it on the spot. The car sits on the roadside while the owner deals with a recovery bill on top of the fine. Number 4. Pre-2015 diesel vehicles in clean air zones. This is the one catching the most people off guard because it is not a national ban, it is a patchwork of local enforcement that is expanding. Birmingham, London, Bristol, Bath, Portsmouth, Oxford, Newcastle, Sheffield, the list of cities operating clean air zones grows monthly. A pre-2015 diesel that does not meet Euro 6 standards is subject to daily charges in these zones, but in some CAS the vehicle is prohibited from entry entirely, not merely charged. The enforcement is automatic. ANPR cameras record every entry and fine notices are issued by post. Most drivers caught by this do not know they were in a CAS at the time. The honest position is that if you drive a pre-2015 diesel anywhere near a British city centre in 2026, you need to check the CAS status of your route before you travel. The charges are not theoretical. The prohibitions in stricter zones are real. Number 3. Cars with failed or missing TPM systems. Tyre pressure monitoring systems have been mandatory on new cars sold in the UK since 2014, and from 2025, a malfunctioning TPMS is a MOT failure reason. In 2026, the DVSA tightened the inspection guidance for TPMS checks, meaning more vehicles are failing for defective systems that were previously being passed. The specific issue is that TPM sensors have a battery life of 5 to 7 years. Cars registered between 2014 and 2017 are now entering the window where sensors are failing in volume. A flashing or permanently illuminated TPMS warning light is now a clear MOT failure. More importantly, driving a car with a known TPMS defect and being stopped by DVSA at roadside can result in an immediate prohibition if the officer determines the system has been deliberately disabled or ignored, rather than simply failing. Number 2. Vehicles caught in the Ghost MOT scandal. This is the one nobody is talking about enough. Ghost MOTs, fraudulent certificates issued without the car ever being inspected, have been circulating through online sellers for as little as $100. The DVSA estimates a significant volume of vehicles on UK roads currently hold fraudulent certificates. From 2026, DVSA requires photographic evidence of vehicles during inspection linked directly to the MOT test record. As part of the fraud crackdown, vehicles with certificates flagged in the system review are being recalled for retesting. The consequence for an owner who unknowingly bought a car with a ghost MOT is stark. The certificate is invalid, the car is uninsured for road use, and driving it is a criminal offence under the Road Traffic Act 1988, not a civil matter. If you bought a used car in the last 3 years and paid below market rate, verifying your MOT history on the DVSA official checker takes 60 seconds and costs nothing. Number 1. Non-compliant imports and grey market vehicles. The most significant category and the one generating the largest number of prohibition notices in 2026. Post-Brexit, the rules on importing vehicles from Europe have changed. A car that was type approved in Germany or France is not automatically road legal in the UK if it does not meet UK-specific requirements. Right-hand drive conversion requirements, lighting specifications, speed limiter fitment for post-July 2024 models, and emissions certification all need to align with UK standards. The grey market import industry sold tens of thousands of European vehicles into Britain between 2021 and 2024, frequently without completing the full individual vehicle approval process required by DVSA. Many of those vehicles have passed subsequent MOTs because individual testers are not required to verify IVA compliance, only the construction and use standards visible at the time of test. DVSA enforcement in 2026 is specifically targeting vehicles flagged in the registration database as imported after 2021 without confirmed IVA documentation. 8 categories, 8 real enforcement actions already underway. None of this is speculation. The DVSA database, the roadside enforcement expansion, and the MOT tightening are all live in 2026. The question is whether your car is in it. Check your MOT history at the official DVSA checker. Verify your number plates meet BSAU 145E. Know whether your diesel has a functioning DPF. These are not complicated tasks. They are the difference between driving legally and being stopped on the hard shoulder with a prohibition notice. Drop your experience in the comments. Have you been caught by any of these? I read every one. You know what to do with that subscribe button.